on the haste or invis runes.
They can be so volatile in this type of game, right? Like, because this matchup, like, if one of these sides gets just a small advantage, I mean, Lina, we know about the kill potential. If the Storm somehow is the one to get the kill, it's not necessarily his kill threat then. It's just the lane dominance followed by the farming pattern.
Top lane.
Solo. He didn't actually get the rune either. This was a brave maneuver. And one that might cost him his life as the magic missile is off cooldown. And I don't think they didn't even have to spend the mana for it. Nice block coming in from Save to ensure that they save mana.
Didn't even skill. Save didn't even skill anything. He still doesn't have Fade Bolt leveled up. He didn't even skill anything. He just right-clicked him to death. Kingar does get that last hit, which isn't really that great. Position 5 getting that first blood. Like position 4, it's awesome. Position 5 not as much. It's okay, but you'd rather give it to that Rubik.
He started with boots already, so I guess there wasn't as much imminence, maybe?
Yeah. No, that's true.
I think, yeah, you're right. In general, like, you want to give it 4, but it's been weird more recently when we've seen a lot more of the 4s picking up these boots right at the start of the game.
It doesn't matter. Getting Arcanes on Rubik early on would like benefit them a lot on this offlane. It's not even only for the Rubik, it would help out the Panda too. So in that way, like, it would be really good, but it's not that relevant. Like, that first blood, you just take it. Whoever can take it. Usually these teams, like, you just don't want to risk anyone escaping. Even when you're body blocking him, you just want to get that kill as fast as possible and move on with your life. It's not that important unless your mid is there contributing. Then you want to give it to your mid, obviously.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, like, you know, King R basically just being a greedy POS, and we know that POS can stand for something.
Alright, so what's happening? Terrorblade and Morphling right now sitting on 7 CS, not being too pressured. The power spike on this bottom lane is basically when Phoenix gets his level 3, as he's gonna be able to burn a lot more damage away from the Terrorblade with the Fire Spirits.
I like the double Fairy Fire as well, just living life on the edge.
Yeah, at the same time on that top lane, Morphling Ramsey is just doing very well versus Madden right now.
They might have a kill on the King R here. It's going to be close. He's trying to run away, but Pasha chasing through. Needs one more hit. South comes out.
Be careful though. 3 seconds in, they're going to have enough mana for the stun. But yeah, Pasha moves away on time properly.
Only a finite hero. The way you have to play Phoenix is... It's kind of an oddity, right? Because you want to be in their face. You're like, I'm a strength hero. My ability to support this. But you're a zero armor hero as well.
Yeah, it's not really... You can only be in their face when you have Fire Spirits off cooldown. That's pretty much how you want to be playing with Phoenix, right? If you have Fire Spirits, you want to be as cocky as possible. If you have Dive, you can be in their face. But if you don't have Dive and they catch you, you're as good as that. Especially if you don't have boots. Right now, Pasha does have boots to work with, does have the Fire Spirits as well, and you can see him making an advance on Dream instantly. But he can't dive. That's the thing. He's way too low, so they can't really do a whole lot. And he's still level 2. He needs that level 3 to be able to actually dish out a significant amount of damage.
I mean, you're doubling your damage. It's pretty noticeable. And a Terrorblade, especially after he did have his strength gain reduced again.
Yeah, I mean, 560 HP on this hero. He is...
Kodos. Oh no, he's down.
Oh no.
He salved as well. He dove for no one there.
Oh, he just got outplayed so hard one-on-one. No one with that last hit there gets the kill on the Lina all alone. He's now half of a level ahead. He's still like behind on CS, but that's a huge kill to get in this map. And on the bottom lane as well, Dream.
Yeah, that's punishment under his tower. And I think I'll have to be careful.
Spike. That's the level 3 spike from both of these heroes. You get more damage on the Impale, you get more damage on the level 2 Fire Spirits, and you instantly go and punish them for the kill. They even use the Metamorphosis, so like it's even better for VP. And now, after a very silent start, as soon as they hit their power spike on this offlane, they get a kill, and no one, just a moment of brilliance from him on that mid lane, getting him a solo kill on Kodos' Lina. Like, overall, VP, they have a dream start, considering Morphling is doing well on top lane as well. They have a dream start in this match. And Dream, he has to be careful again on this bottom lane, because they have dive available.
They're gonna use it.
Go in.
Magic Missile comes out. Wave of Terror as well. King R looking to punish Pasha, but he has that Fairy Fire if it's a little bit too close.
Yeah, that dive from Pasha, if it was a little bit better, if he go over Dream and stop behind him, then perhaps he could use all of the Fire Spirits properly, but he missed a couple.
Dead. He salved as well. Say you at least get the 2 top runes, but this is... I mean, it seems like it's too early to say catastrophic, but the way the Empire drafted, we said they're looking to win these lanes. They're looking to ball out of control, and there's a concern that VP might end up being the ones to do that at this rate.
Oh, most certainly. As Dream is being Dolan again on the bottom lane. Well, there's a dive from...
Oh, he's all alone. There's no escape.
This is like the problem of Terrorblade versus Phoenix. Like, this is one of the best heroes to play on the laning stage as Phoenix against. You know, like, you just have so much dot damage that his armor does not work. Especially
he has an own already as well. Yeah. Like, I don't know how you actually attend to this lane anymore. Do you have to try and maybe bring Rubik down and just try and find a kill?
It's difficult because if you bring that Rubik down, then your Panda is gonna remain level 5 for a pretty long time. I think also this top lane that we haven't really talked a lot about. Rubik, he spent so much time messing with Oracle that he wasn't really helping versus the Morphling, right? So the Morphling had just complete free farm. He has 40 CS right now. Maybe if they used mid lane Roger...
Like Carapace came out though, and there's Laguna. They are not messing around. Fable as well.
Yeah, they finally get that Roger kill. It's good. It's a good move by Empire, taking down this tier 1. It's very important for them to take as much of map control as possible. Considering Terrorblade is confined in the jungle, he's gonna need a lot of space on the map.
This does seem to define the movement towards pushing mid more often now, right? It's because we see a lot of these mids that can farm the jungle effectively. So Storm went to do that, and it feels like the moment you see that the team is leveraging the mid as an XP sat for their support, you rotate, right?
Not playing Madden.
Getting low. Ramses has the adaptive strike, but Ramses gets out just before the light strike array connects. A little bit too close for comfort there. He thought he could find an easy kill. He was looking to just finish off the adaptive strike on the Madden, but he'll be fine.
Oh, the way he dodged that stun. If he didn't dodge it, I believe Vengeful is there. She can follow up with another stun with minus armor. They could have even gotten that kill. Overall, Empire, even though we...
Oh no, we got him!
What?
Oh, King R!
Oh,
the wave of terror, level 3 was enough.
I think he just got level there. Did he get the full level 5?
Even if it was level 2, right? You're a Morphling on no HP.
Morphling was on no HP because Oracle was using Fate's Purifying Flames to try and heal him up as much as possible. Which obviously backfired there.
And it was all Solo's fault, and he pays the price for it. There you go. After Ramses does. I mean, there were some cute little plays as well at the beginning, because what they were doing is they were using Purifying Flames when he was morphed into Brewmaster and then switching for the heals. Meanwhile, bot lane, there's a strike on the Rubik here as Pasha commits the egg, and they might get the tower out of this.
They take down Rubik, and they're gonna take the tower. Rubik was basically the sacrificial lamb there, trying to defend the tower for as long as possible, trying to get some experience. Pasha did use his egg there, so that egg is not going to be available for, let's say, some top lane defense, which is also a fair trade for Empire. Pasha is having a great game, but he's still playing versus Alina. This hero at any given point in the game can deal with the egg, but at the same time it's Alina. You have Storm to jump her, you have Nyx to jump her.
Storm come towards the top lane here. He might actually go and defend top. They aren't pushing hard enough, and just have a look at Madden's XP. They actually can't commit to that push because of how close he is yet so far from level 6.
Minute 9. I mean, he's had worse times. Like that last game and the game before, I believe it was minute 10 plus that the offlaners got their level 6. Because teams kind of focused on preventing the offlaners from having anything on those lanes. This time around, they're doing a little bit better, both Madden and the Phoenix. Obviously, Phoenix doing great on this offlane of Dire. He also has that Midas, yeah. Almost has that Midas. It's a good pickup. Urn into Midas is one of my favorite builds on Phoenix too. It just like that. Urn helps you a lot in the laning stage, gives you that bonus damage, especially if you're having a good laning stage. That Urn makes you pick down any hero, and then you can go into the Midas to scale a bit better too.
With timing like this, there can be no complaint either. That's gonna have it by 11-12 minute mark. Yeah, there it is. He's got enough. Was thinking about going for that greedy rune snatch, but you realize that the Luna's down here now, going towards the Lina. Light Strike Ray's been thrown out already. She might be in trouble. Throws it onto the Storm. The Laguna's not enough. They're going to move it now. The egg comes out. Vortex to lock the Lina down. Will get the kill. No one wants to go for Save, who is in range of the egg. Just about gets out though. Goes to the steal. Ends up taking the remnant. So I guess Rubik's going to go off and farm somewhere. Or is he? Pasha? Okay, he's committing close to Madden. Madden has the split, but it's too late. Pasha reads it perfectly.
Is he gonna... Nah, he's not gonna tick out, right? Is he?
He is. He's gone. Oh, Pasha.
And that's the strength of this Phoenix return early on. He just deals with these squishy supports so easily. Like, this is a dream Phoenix game too. It's a really good pickup in this match. Like versus the Venge, versus the Lina, all these heroes are just so tiny and squishy, and your burn is gonna be felt by them.
Living up to expectations so far. Top lane. King R has a swap. Roger's here though. Light Strike Array on the Morphling, and the other damage going to be close. Fadebolt gets it. Seiyu in range. Now the swap comes out, and Roger, that's a bonus kill. Thank you very much, they say. The double stun will be enough to ensure they don't just get the Morphling, they get the Nyx as well.
Yeah, Roger was sitting behind him, but I think the hero that should be sitting behind that Morphling is most likely the Solo's Oracle. Like Nyx has better aggressive potential, while Oracle is the one with saves, obviously.
We're gonna punish Lina now. Vortex jumping, coming in. Nice stun with the Impale. Kodo's still alive. Turns around Light Strike Array and the Laguna. But nice use of the false promise just in time by Solo. The steal. Save says okay, but I refuse to die now. The clap's gonna come out, and Solo dragged towards his death. Yeah, keep the Storm alive, and now the waveform through. Ramsey's still going, wants to kill Naseu, and he'll find it. Split comes out, but way too late to save the life of the Rubik, and Ramsey's, he'll just walk this off. Magic Missile coming out, Wave of Terror. I mean, he can just morph back, and Storm is here. He's just waiting. He's wandering up, getting the max value out of the mana he can. And once this split ends, he realizes it too late. They're going to dive in, slow him up. Vortex drags back into the burn, and he will feel death just tickling at his feet.
Yeah, he should have maybe backed out a little bit sooner. It was obvious that he's not going to take down Morphling, so continuing that pursuit was a little bit, you know, wasn't really the greatest play. Roger is lurking around this Terrorblade, but he has no follow-up. This is basically what I want to see from Roger. I want to see him moving aggressively across the map. Well, this time around he is spotted out, but he doesn't have Vendetta anyway.
He doesn't have a TP, so he needs to get out right now, actually.
While Oracle should be the one that's sitting behind these cores and preventing them from dying.
Oh, shifting the focus a bit back to Pasha. I mean, this seems to be like, I think we're talking about the Phoenix a lot. I know you love Phoenix, but it's a justified subject, this game, because he's been playing fantastically. More to the point, he just got level 10, so he has his GPM talent. He has a Midas. This might be an abnormal thing usually to say, but I think Phoenix at this rate might end up being the richest person in the game for quite a while by the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's gonna be extremely farmed unless he dies a few times. Like sometimes Phoenix is what they tend to do, like especially in pro games, is you have such a good game that you kind of overestimate your level 1 egg, and then you die in some awkward positions. They've smoked up, they want to fight again, but he still has to be careful not to feed the advantage that he's been given on this bottom lane. He needs to be careful with the way he uses that egg. He's itemizing properly though. You're gonna have the Shivas versus the Terrorblade versus the Lina. Vengeful Kingar, just look at his positioning. It's so good. He's gonna break that smoke. That scan also scan them out, so they know exactly what's happening. And just good positioning by Kingar. You can see that he's using Wave of Terror as well to scout out around mid.
Good restraint from VP to back off at that stage. Like a lot of teams, you usually see them in that scenario as 5 men going towards that T1 tower. They'll feel the need to commit for it.
Yeah, they don't have any wards that deep into the jungle, so behind the tier 1 on mid. So that rotation, if they did manage to get a kill, This is a fresh ward, by the way, the R1.
Yeah, he played that. They try to get value out of the smoke.
Yeah, so if they manage to get a pick off, even on Avenge, they probably would collapse on this tier 1 afterwards. But without getting that opening kill, that would be a little bit too greedy, so they decide not to.
They might come back soon. I mean, that ward is there for a reason. They're going to try and find someone just farming the primary jungle. But so far, Dream has done a good job after the lane phase of just dodging that era, just making sure he's in the safe triangle, playing around part of VP's jungle.
How's his Terrorblade? His Terrorblade is still on top of the network. Like, I mean, it is a Terrorblade. It's expected. You have illusions to farm with. Your farm should be a little bit better, even with 0-2, than the farm of most of these heroes on the map. However, they're collapsing right now on this tier 2 on top. All 5 of them, actually.
Yeah, VP are coming.
They have the sentries. They spotted out Roger.
They're very close to having level 2 egg on Pasha, actually. So he hits 1-2 more creeps, they'll have that. And at that stage, Empire are going to struggle to find into this. At that stage, there's not many people that can actually burn through that egg quick enough.
Yeah, he has recipe for Shivas. He has plate mail too. Man, I don't want to be talking about this Phoenix too much, but he's having such a good game. We don't really see Phoenix so often in pro games. Oh, top lane Roger.
Yeah, he's pretty deep. Magic Missile's going to come out. Doesn't have Vendetta for 20 seconds, and no Spike Carapace means that Kodos will get the kill with the Dragon Slave. Yeah,
it's a pretty good pickup for them. Nice kill. They're pinging out Pasha too, but it's hard to approach him as he has this ward. They think, like, Lina is thinking, alright, I'm sneaky. I'm gonna get him with the night vision. But this lane ward on top lane from Dara just scouted her out. So couldn't really get anything done.
Have to be careful. There's going to be diving. Egg gets dropped straight away. Kodos down half HP due to the adaptive strike. Uses himself, but when he comes down, he just sets up the stun perfectly. Bye, Lina. And now King R next on the hit list. He can't escape either. Feel that burn.
Yeah,
Pasha. No hesitation.
A mega kill for Pasha and a tier 1 most likely for them. They don't have creeps, so that makes it a bit more difficult, but you can see Roger rotating around the shrine, rotating perhaps behind them. Oh, he's gonna go for Terrorblade, I think.
I mean, he got a glimpse of him from the ward, right?
Yeah, he did. Okay, but can they kill him before he sunders? He and no one? Nah, it looks like Roger is just gonna stick around mid a bit.
No one's thinking about it, but I think you just focus on getting that Orchid complete first. I mean, you can toy with him a little bit, but Dream is hiding in the trees all the time. View this hero is at this stage in the game, you have a clarity and just use your illusions to farm the waves.
Yeah, he TP'd out too. There's a 4-man smoke coming from Empire. They realized, alright guys, we need to do something. It's all on us. Like, VP have been making these movements across the map all the time. We have done nothing. Let's try and kill Pasha. Let's see.
Yeah, gonna go for it. Light Strike Ray comes out. Huge kill for them there. 500 gold going the way of Rubik. They'll know that Roche is going on, but 40 seconds without Phoenix, and there would have been 30 seconds without Egg anyway.
Yeah, he can perhaps buy back, but they're just not in position to fight around this pit, and because of that, that Empire smoke is gonna be like very good as they take down Aegis 2 18 minutes in. They give it to their Terrorblade that's building towards that BKB now too. Overall, once he gets that BKB, it's gonna be a bit harder for VP to take him down, as he's gonna be immune to the magic damage of the Phoenix, of the Storm.
And speaking of this Storm, I mean, his Orchid targets are going to be diminishing because of that BKB pickup. I guess maybe, does it feel like Storm's, their actions are more predictable in terms of item builds than before, because Bloodstone, it doesn't really get as valued like it used to until later in the game?
Yeah, I mean, you can still go for it, but it's not as valuable as you said. He's getting that Orchid because they were in front, and he thought perhaps he's going to get it before these big pickup items come on the side of Empire, like BKB's Yules. Obviously, it didn't really work out, not so far.
Seiyu has his blink as well. He just picked it up. Not bad timing considering how this went for Empire. So big power spikes incoming from them, and on the back of an Aegis, maybe they can look to get out on the map, just burn through VP's remaining out of town.
Radiant's bottom tower is
trying to get rid of this mostly useless tower, but I guess with this many heroes here, they can try and force Empire back towards bot lane after they take this tier 2 top.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
No, they're just gonna trade tier 2 for they have Aegis. It's not really that great for Empire, but the team fight of VP is very strong, even versus an Aegis. They have to be careful. There's a BKB completed on Terrorblade. This also gives them another way of killing that egg off. Even a level 2 egg. I think TB at this point with Yasha BKB, he might be able to take it down with perhaps one extra hit from one of the supports or something. The problem is when you're playing versus that and you use BKB to take down that egg, like you're wasting a lot of your BKB timing on hitting one egg, and if you don't take it down, it's a disaster. If you take it down, good job, you wasted your whole BKB hitting one thing. And
then what are you doing to deal with the rest of them? I'm Morphling will reign free and supreme, and so the Storm. It's just basically Pasha is ticking the boxes, right? When you're an offlaner, if you're not dominating, the real question is, am I making the enemy waste a lot of time on me? And Phoenix is going to fill that box. Roger getting ready with a backstab as well. There you're hiding in the trees though, because he has that blink dagger. I don't think they've seen it yet either. The ping comes out now. The ward just about spotted him. They're going to go straight in. Seiyu is dead. There's no way he's going to escape that adaptive strike. Moving across, ball lining in. They're stacked pretty hard. The burn's going to come through as well. And now Ramsey's committing pretty heavily. Rue's going to get low. They can't quite finish him off. They'll find the kill. Defensive turnaround. Rue Martin, no split comes out in time. And now Terrorblade instantly respawns and just TPs away with the BKB active. No one. He doesn't even die. He gets the kill on the Kodos.
That attempt from Kodos there, he was shadow amuleted and he waited for Storm for the right moment to try and kill him, but he just doesn't manage to. And VP just style all over them, even versus that Aegis. They just did not care. They're just way too far in front and they take a clean fight. Nyx Assassin scouting out the Rubik. Then Storm and Morphling with the Lincolns and with these builds, they just ran all over them. Empire, I believe they just, like, remember what we said, they needed to have a good laning stage. They needed to be the ones dominating VP early on. They definitely did not need to be playing versus a level 15 Phoenix like minute 19 in with Shiva's completed Midas and an urn.
Pretty brutal. I mean, it has been the story of Phoenix, you know? He's not the quiet hummingbird. He refuses to go silently into that night. Instead, he is just singing a victory tune for VP right now. And 1.6 HP. Do you burst him quick enough? I don't... Like, if you do, the amount you have to commit is insane because you haven't got that magic damage burst to kill him straight away. And he has so much armor.
And you have Oracle behind him. Plus the Shiva's passive. So, like, how do you burst the bird? Like, he has fire, he has ice.
And I guess it's also like it feels like Empire maybe, would you say they're making a mistake in where they're fighting? Or is it just VP catching them in the perfect spot? Because that was a choke point, right? And you're talking about a lineup that has this Morphling, this Storm Spirit, and this Phoenix that can play around the high ground, the low ground so easily.
Usually you want to take that spot as a team that has taken down Aegis, has taken down Rosh, and is looking towards fighting around the tier 2 mid and taking down the tier 2. That choke point on the high ground, especially because they warded it, is strategically good for you. However, there's a lot of mobility on VP and they didn't respect that. Like the Phoenix with the dive, the Vendetta Nyx, and then also obviously the Storm jumping in.
The Nyx they know about. They just found him. Like Carrot buys a little bit of time. Laguna got commit though. They actually bait him in, going for the back line. Empire are in trouble. They're going to lose their Rubik, and they've already lost the bench. Now pursuing for more. Ramsey's getting pretty low. Needs to be careful of Dream here. Switches back to the Morphling, and now it's going to go full strength. We'll wait for him away. They're wasting the BKB of the Terrorblade. All they got so far was the Nyx. They need more. No one stands up against this. He's going to back away now. Pasha stunned up. In trouble. He will get the egg out in time. They're going to focus it down, but there's the Vortex coming through. Is it going to be enough? They're going to be selling this up. Lena, she's dead. The egg is going to go pop. Terrorblade, he's gone. They don't even get a chance to get rid of it. Instead, it'll be VP getting rid of the entirety of Empire, and that was all off the back of Empire striking at Roger.
It was basically Roger running into them, making them think that they get a free kill, and then instantly everyone from VP just shows up. They demonstrate the power of this high mobility lineup. Their catch-up is way too good. The way they fought around that shrine too, like making Terrorblade wastes that BKB before they use their big spells. Also the way they fight around the egg, the way they help each other out, the way they communicate in a matter of split second. There's a Storm pulling the Terrorblade. There's Oracle using Fate's Edict on the Panda so he cannot hit that tag. That tag survived, I believe, on 2 hits. If that tag instantly falls, they can turn on the rest of them. Storm was not working with a lot of mana. I believe one of the biggest strengths of Phoenix when he uses that tag is the fact that it's literally a taunt, right? It forces the enemy team to attack it. If they like it or not, you have to focus it. You don't want to be dealing with another full HP hero after the egg pop. Refreshed full HP hero. So
like a large axe presence. I mean, big, like you said, they were just so in sync. The way that no one played that final moment as well, because he threw out the silence on the Lina, so she couldn't spam spells to get the extra attack speed, and then instantly just grabs the Terrorblade, knowing actually he's going to be attacking faster at this stage. The synchronicity, the level of VP are communicating on, you expect this from these guys who are making it to so many finals in the majors, but Empire just seem helpless in the face of it.
You expect it, but at the same time, it doesn't matter that you can be in awe when you're. I mean, we got used to. I think this whole community got used to seeing these big plays that we don't appreciate them as much, right? As before.
We get numbed by it, right?
Like you get a little bit numbed by it, exactly. But as an ex-pro player or someone that's still striving to be one, seeing them execute these team fights so properly, it just gives me the chills. I just love seeing it.
Boy, bombed here. Maybe for good reason.
It's not. I'm not fanboying.
You're a Phoenix fanboy. That's what it is.
No, I'm not fanboying
I know.
a team. I'm fanboying the play. You know, I'm fanboying the execution. The same way I fanboyed them Empire when they were taking down Morphling on top lane or something.
That's fair. Like sometimes people think cast like you see the comments cast about. We never bias actually. We just like good players. I mean, we have not. It's not like we're doing 3-2-2 bets. We don't have any chips in the game. We just want good Dota, and VP are delivering that right now.
Oh, you didn't? You don't have any chips? I'm kidding. It's
maybe some diversified portfolio. We don't get into that. Nothing going on, okay? Betting is not allowed, guys. That's the BPC.
So Terrorblade is trying to split push them, and he does push very fast.
He's forced to lob them back, actually.
Yeah. They went completely back. They want to try and fight this for sure. They have the meta. They have the egg, right? So there's no reason for them to just give up towers. They took down the tier 2 on top. And now they're gonna... Basically, the problem is, like, usually when you're this in front, you would be looking at forcing them back to defend the high ground. But you can't really force Selena and Terrorblade back, as they're gonna push even faster. Even though you're up front, you're in front of... When it comes to network, they're still gonna push faster than you, as those heroes are just insane at doing exactly that. They're made for pushes.
Gonna be the real big focus is, as this goes later, does this potentially curve around the Empire's favor? Because you'd argue yes, usually with Terrorblade, but you actually look at the way the net worth is growing, it feels like at this rate it's going to be Terrorblade against the world, because Lena's starting to fall behind the other cores on the side of VP, and Dream's the only one competing.
Once he gets that BKB on Lena, it opens up different possibilities for them, different ways of playing out these team fights, which is really important for Empire, as you're gonna have another item to deal with your Orchid. You're gonna have another item to deal with the burst magic damage from Virtus.pro on another core of yours. That's another power spike for Empire. However, is she even gonna get that BKB? Because VP, they're moving into the pit, they're taking down that Rosh. They are scanned out, but it doesn't look like Empire is ready to fight this. They would have to all port there, and they're just not in position.
Basically gonna be 3B for VP as the lanes were pushed in, so it's not like the side of Empire can find value elsewhere on the map. Nicely read by VP, nicely set up, and I think you're right, like, is this game gonna last long enough? I mean, he's getting close to that BKB. I guess your big concern is this game's priority shifts, right? Because so far VP have been able to be in a scenario like we saw Nyx, where they can let Empire initiate first and react and be so potent. But once that BKB is online, you've got 2 magic immune targets on Empire. Does that suddenly change the priority? Does it suddenly become a case of whichever team gets the first jump is going to have the advantage?
Not necessarily right now, as there's Aegis and Cheese on the side of Virtus.pro. Perhaps in 5 minutes, once that Aegis is reclaimed, it's going to be that way. But at the moment, VP, strategically, they're in a much better position. And it's a much easier game for them to play. As you can see, Storm just zipping in on Dream.
Yeah, going to punish him for that D-Ward, King R. He will die, and Roger was even there to ensure the stun control was good enough. Just in time for the runes.
He didn't even see them, by the way. Nyx was not giving vision. Nyx was super far away, so he just zipped in because he knew that one of them is going to be around that bounty rune, waiting for it to spawn. He just jumps in and he gets a kill.
Was it a sentry they were dewarding in the river?
Yeah, they were dewarding stuff, so...
It might have been an obs, but I think it was a sentry, yeah.
That gave them some vision, at least.
Yeah, he just jumps to the high ground because he's like, okay, Venge is here. I need to make sure I can see what's on the high ground close enough to stun. That's fair.
All right, for that next fight, we are going to see Lina having that BKB as he needs, what, 20 gold more? He should have it.
Storm's close to 20 as well. Do you take the... I think the Vortex is worth taking this game, or are you definitely in on the attack speed?
Yeah, you can...
It's not the biggest decision for a 20 skill, right? Like compared to some of the level 20 talents we see in the game. For example, if you look at Phoenix, it's like, wow, stun or dive does it huge. Oh, Yule's coming out. Spot the Morphling. Zip in is going to be there. Just throwing them out. No one doesn't want to commit heavily. Ramses going to move away. Drum's activated to make sure that he doesn't take too much damage.
He has that E-Blade, so every time they do something like this, they have to be careful of the repercussions, as he might E-Blade you down together with the Storm.
Getting pretty deep here. Magic Missile comes out. Light Strike Array follow up. Full line and in. Silence onto the Lina. Gets the BKB. Can't use because the Vortex. They're fighting into this. The Supernova's going to go down. Dream with the BKB. Trying to back up. Will turn around the egg, but realizes it's just too tanky. They have to back away. They lose the Venge. Nothing else, but the Split's going to come out. Ramsey's BKB runs out. He'll move away. Cyclone onto the Phoenix in the meantime. They want to try and punish Pasha. They do lose their tier 3. Pasha.
Yes,
still with the dive. And the Aeon Disc as well, as you said. They're just trying to pop that before they go for the stun, but it's a little bit too late. They're going to keep chasing. Split's about to run out. Man is going to back up. A nice stun. Perfectly timed by Roger. He goes in pretty deep. Waveform through. Looking at the back line. Gets the Rubik. Buyback comes out on the bench. And now they're going to get the Brew low. Man just burns up and dies off. Dream, no BKB to work with. He does have the Sunder, but he doesn't have a good target. Ramsey's moving deeper. Still has the Aegis to work with here. It's going to switch up from the Terrorblade form. He's just going to work on the melee racks right now. Things calm down for a moment here, as both teams have expended a lot of their resources.
Yeah, you can see that Dire is respecting the burst damage from Empire quite a lot. Morphling is going in, but he's not going ham. So far, at least.
They're not respecting no one. The stun comes through. King R down to half HP. The adaptive strike gets the kill and save. Light Strike Array's there. Kodos taking a lot of damage. Will go down. Now they're moving to the backline. Dream. He goes for the Thunder play, but it doesn't matter. The swap across from King R will save his life, but only for a few seconds. They wipe the entirety of Empire. The whole base is exposed. BP are going to rip right through it as the GG comes out. BP secure themselves a spot at the MDL Disneyland Paris Major.
Yeah, it was just a hard hill to climb for Empire. Yeah, they did take down that first game away from VP, but it's the VP's curse. They give you that first game and then they win afterwards. They've actually won so many series in this fashion that it became a meme pretty much. They throw the first game. They warm up with the first